Well, welcome all of you. We're delighted that you could join us on this Thanksgiving weekend where we have so much to be thankful for. We really are grateful for the tremendous work of the Waste Center, which is an alternate learning center up in West Orange. We are thrilled that many of the residents from some of the programs from the Jewish Service for the Developmentally Disabled have been able to join us to come down to Asbury to see what all the excitement has been about. For the last month, we've been able to attract all kinds of visitors to shops and galleries here in Asbury, where local vendors have kindly hosted a chair of inclusion. This is a program that has been around for a year. The chairs were originally commissioned to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Waste Center in West Orange. That stands for Wellness, Arts, and Enrichment, and the program is really represented by these wonderful chairs, which were commissioned through the Waste Center with New Jersey artists working in collaboration with the members of the Waste Center, all of whom are artists in their own right. We are so grateful to local people from Asbury who embraced the concept that everyone deserves a seat at the table. And that's the concept that was really developed by Marilyn Schneider, who is the executive director of the Waste Center, and Monica as well. Monica Schneider Brewer. We have a whole team. Nothing happens here in isolation. It's all about collaboration and inclusiveness. But we wanted to recognize the generosity of some of the people from Asbury who hosted our chairs. So I would like Chris from Coyle and Co. and Scott Ham from Shelter Home, and Malcolm Navius, am I saying correctly? From Heaven Arts and Antiques, all along Cookman Avenue and Bangs Avenue, which is the heart of downtown Asbury. Each of you was so generous in supporting our program, and this is a little small example of, yes, you got it. Yeah, he was able to appreciate the sentiment here. But we were wondering if you would like to say a few words just about what this program meant to you and if it was worthwhile for your getting so involved. We would appreciate it. Malcolm, you were the first, so step up.
Well, it's been a wonderful exhibit for us. Thanks to Jane and her team of experts who put it together. They were really superb. It was so smooth and integrated, and it brought people to town, and it brought people to look at the exhibition, and it gave people a new view of Asbury Park. So it was really a wonderful experience for us.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Jane, and thank you at the Waste Center for doing this. I would like to see this every year, basically. I think it was wonderful. It brought people to Asbury Park that haven't been to Asbury Park in a while, and it got people going around from all the different shops and galleries and seeing the whole town. And it's been a wonderful collaboration with everybody. But there's a quote when I was coming in the train station that you guys put up, and it said something like, the path to a meaningful life differs for each of us. And I thought that sort of describes the chairs and how they're all beautiful, but they're all different. And and everybody that's been part of this, and Asbury Park. And that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'd also like to thank the Way Center and everybody that put this together. As a business that's new in town, relatively on the outskirts of downtown, getting the flow going through all the other shops is super beneficial for us. We saw a lot of people that we would never have seen before, that isn't our typical demographic, coming through the store, asking questions. So you can definitely see that it really does help spur the motion around, everybody going into places they may not have thought to, but enjoying the time in there. So thank you everybody that put that together. We appreciate it. That's all.
Okay. I'd like to turn this program over to Ellen Weinstock, who's a member of the board of JSDD and the Way Center, and also a founding member of the entire initiative up in Metro West. So, Ellen?
Good afternoon, everybody. As Jane so eloquently stated, things like this don't just happen. They take a lot of planning, a lot of creativity, and a lot of teamwork. And I want to recognize the two women who were the foundation for this. First of all, I want to talk to Monica. Hi, Monica. Monica is the woman who, I hate to use this word, but schlepped, can't think of it, and she wore a truck driver's hat sometimes and an artistic coordinator other times, and she made all of this happen in all of your locations, made them come into this new venue, allowing us to close the event with such dignity. So I say thank you from the organization and from the community for all your hard work, and we love you. And then I have over here Marilyn Schneider, who sort of was the kernel that got this whole project going about chairs. And as I've talked to a few people this afternoon, when you start a conversation with chairs, it takes you down a lot of unique paths of what a chair does in your life. Of course, our goal, Marilyn's goal, was to shift the perceptions of what individuals with developmental disabilities can do. And so there's a lot of beauty in all these chairs, and similarly, there's a lot of beauty in orchid plants, and that's why I chose these orchid plants as just a token of my appreciation from the board for what you have done for us. I've known Jane a long time, and she's just phenomenal. She's always believed in individuals with developmental disabilities, always fought for them. She was the founding chairperson of the
Commission.
We've changed our name so many times, I have short-term memory, for developmentally disabled, and we worked together to open the first group home, but she's never given up. And you know, I looked up, it says that orchids, the Asians believe that orchids represented integrity and humility. And I can't think of more beautiful words or adjectives that personify you. She's as humble as they can be. You know, she did this all. She stretched this out. She multifaceted it. She included every aspect of the community. You all know what she did. And her integrity, she would never let the project be less than perfect. And so please enjoy these beautiful orchid plants as a token of our respect, admiration, and love for you.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you. Well, good. Now I have to make this flourish.
Just stay there for a minute.
Oh,
All right, right here.
you have some.
So, you know, everything Ellen said is absolutely true. And we really, the three of us, came together around this project and bringing the Chairs of Inclusion to Asbury Park and making it significant, not only for the work we do at the Way Center and our personal lives, but for the shopkeepers, gallery owners, and all the people of Asbury Park. Really, really important. And Jane brought it all together, made it happen, did all the talking, all the walking, all the cutting, all the different aspects that had to go together to make this really happen. And as a tribute to you and a great big thank you, we want to give you your portrait done by the artists at the Way Center. Wow, it's extraordinary.
Well, it is indeed. This is we had a pop-up show at Malcolm's gallery actually, which had a lot of the work of people at the Way Center, artists at the Way Center, and one of the most wonderful pieces was a collage like this that I looked at so lovingly, and so this is just fabulous. I am honored, and this whole thing has been, of course, much more for me than I could have ever given, and that's what all of our artists have said as well. I'd like to recognize Randy Rubenstein, who is also my partner in this project, and from the very beginning embraced the whole concept. And if you have a few more minutes, I would love to have you just hear a few words from Stephen Schwartz and from Mansa, who is also one of our artists. Both of them are artists who worked with the clients for developing the chairs. But we also had a wonderful workshop at Asbury Park, where music lives, where
We did three-dimensional collage.
we did three-dimensional collage, and Mansa was our teacher, and it was a fabulous project. So if you'd like to just say a few words, we would love to hear from you.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. I hope everyone is well this afternoon. Thanks for coming out on this beautiful afternoon. When Monica told me that the next show was going to be in Asbury Park, I said, well, that's an hour away from West Orange. I said, I'm going to make the trip. So I was here a couple of weeks ago with a fabulous three-dimensional collage workshop where I worked with students trying to sort of internalize these three-dimensional chairs and to do it on a piece of 11 by 17 paper. And they were fabulous, and that's really a continuation of this process. It's had so many facets and so many cracks and crevices, but all, leading to a place of discovery for me. I love to teach because I love to learn, and working with this whole process has taught me a lot. So thank you for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. As I've said many times, this whole project, from the beginning when somebody asked me if I would participate until now, to see all the chairs together in one place, it has really been a fantastic experience. So, now that you actually see all these chairs together and you see the diversity that accompanies each one. One's in wood, one's in fabric, mine is in Lego. You start to understand how the diversity of the chairs kind of symbolizes the diversity of all the people who built them. And that for me was a real life awakening experience. I deal in three-dimensional things all the time, so the question was, how do I involve 6 people to help me, all doing their little part on this project, and yet at the end, they might not realize while they're doing it how it's all going to come together, but in the end, it all comes together and it becomes a whole, and that was just an amazing experience, I think, for all the participants who led in the construction. So I thank you, and I know they do, and frankly, it was just an honor to be involved with the JSDD and the Way Center, so I thank you.
partake some wine, some refreshments, enjoy the music, and just be part of the celebration. Thank you so much.
I love this chair because this chair is a collaborative effort between all of our artists. Each of these squares is a personal representation of something that was important to them. And so I really love the concept that this chair was truly an effort, a group effort by all of our artists at the Way Center.
We call this chair the Way of the Zen, because when we created the chair, when I teach, I create a firestorm of energy. But when we created this chair, we were working very calmly and very peacefully. It was almost like a Zen approach to creating the chair. So that's why we call it the Way of the Zen.
I see the photographs in there. Were they personal photographs of your collaborators, or did you just pick them?
Well, actually, it was a work of one of the students who decided he wanted to take pictures of the staff. He created these fabulous pictures of the staff members at the Way Center, and we said, well, how can we include them in the chair? So we decided to collage them, and then we took them and printed them on heat transfer paper, ironed them onto fabric, and used it as part of the chair.
All the different artists, and they found ways that everybody could participate, whether it was coiling the rope or taking their photographs and integrating them into the fabric of the chair, or painting the chair, doing printing on the wood. There are so many different modalities that are used here, but it all represents many, many hours of collaborative work. And so for me, it's really special.
I saw the hands reaching out, and then when I started to read the readings, and it talks about family and love and friend and concerns for each other, it's just so warm, it's so welcoming. And this has been the week of Thanksgiving, so it's all been about friends and family and people coming together, not about presents, but just about the caring that people have for one another. And when I look at this chair, that's what I think. And then I found out it was a rocker. And in my family, my grandmother had a rocking chair, and it was the place that was one of comfort, and I could sit in a chair and hear stories, and I've always had a soft spot in my heart for a rocking chair.
I picked this chair out, yes, and we hosted this chair. It just spoke to me. I like the upstretched arms, you know, toward the sky. It resonated very nicely with me, yeah.
Well, I think it's a very happy chair. It's kind of, if you sit on it, you have your halo and your wings. It's a fact.
Now, did you find while you hosted the chair that your foot traffic increased in the store?
Oh, absolutely. We had a lot of people coming in tours, individuals, fascinated. Some people didn't know about it, and then they really got into going through the map and going throughout town and discovering other businesses and discovering the chairs. So it was very interactive.
So, do you remember the day when they came in to create this chair?
I actually don't remember the day.
You don't remember?
Do you remember when they came in?
I do. The women came in, 6 women came in from the Riker Hill Gallery, and they came in just with the paper chair in place, and just tubes, you know, it was just tubes.
Right.
And 6 of our members came up to work with them. And I remember in particular, Jessica came up, and she doesn't speak. So their interaction was with pantomime as they worked, showing her about paper and how you actually make paper. So they took the materials and put it in water, and she put her hands in. She was, you know, very scary about it, and was surprised when what came out of the pot was something that resembled water. And then Alicia stepped in, and you know Alicia's blind, right? But she could feel the paper. And she was the one who pressed the paper, and then she actually put an imprint into the paper. And she could then feel the imprint of the paper, and that sense of satisfaction that we see that happens for people, that feeling was one that she presented to everybody. So step by step, they learned how to do these different pieces and attaching fabric and putting in this string and creating an art piece. You know, I mean, it was a very different experience for them than when they're working on their own, creating a project.
All the colors, to me, they represent all the different colors in this world of people, of different things. And when they all come together, they make something special and something beautiful, you know? I don't have a true favorite because they're very, very, very different. But I love this one. I really do. There's so many, but I love this one because I love its petiteness, and it was in all different pieces, and because of the size of the chair and the scale, people who were very mobily impaired worked on this chair because they could sit at a table and just take a small piece and create something, and like all these plastic pieces, and it was because most of the people who created this are in wheelchairs, and they had a blast. They just had a blast, and it's a delicious, beautiful little chair.